So there I was, staring at something so many of us have seen countless times before. It was the same screen that stares right back at you as you create a new Minecraft world. My mind was racing as I thought of the endless possibilities, but I had to keep my mission in mind to defeat the mighty Ender Dragon. I knew it would be hard, yet this was a foe that many others have faced before. I needed a real challenge, so I settled on creating an amplified world. As its name suggests, this means that the mountains loom higher, the valleys cut deeper, and the cliffsides drop steeper. Merely surviving could prove difficult in such unforgiving terrain. This sounds like the perfect place to set up my home. I created the new world and waited anxiously to arrive in the vast unknown that I knew would await me.
Played around, not really exactly tried to beat the Ender Dragon at all. Alright.
Once I was in, some nearby trees were my first target.
Punching trees. There we go. Some cheeky little loot. Da-da-dee-da-dum. Hey. Come in. There we go.
I punched them till my arms were sore, and then I punched a few more. The valuable wood I harvested was worth the temporary pain.
You know, just chop down a couple little bad boys. We'll be Gucci. That's pretty much all we're gonna need. Little crafting table.
Sunlight streaming over a mountain range into a picturesque valley caught my attention. I could almost hear the golden rays of light singing as they echoed into the depths of the valley below. I decided to look around a bit. After all, I couldn't just build my house anywhere. It had to feel right, and this valley, it felt like home to me.
Alright,
Construction of my house began in quick order. I knew the glorious sunlight wouldn't last long, and every moment was a golden opportunity for progress. Monsters of every horrifying breed imaginable come out to play when the light of the moon bathes the landscape in its silver glow. I had to work fast.
There we go. I need more wood. Alright. Let's go grab some more wood. Bazinga. Oh, one more. Bazinga. No, one more. Come on. Bazinga. There's more? This is the big oof gamers. Whew. That was more difficult than I remembered. Okay, always remember to plant your saplings back, gamers.
Now this structure would not be the most impressive, but it had to be sturdy to withstand the forces of nature that were sure to come. It was then that my first mistake happened. See, I was so focused that I didn't realize what was about to unfold until I heard the frightening hiss that could only mean one thing.
Alright, where are you? Nope, here he comes. Alright.
A creeper had tracked me down and was intent on destroying my day's labors. I tried to run, but I wasn't fast enough. My life flashed before my eyes as the fiery explosion rang out through the night sky.
Alright, well.
As the dust settled, I breathed a sigh of relief. Not all had been destroyed, so there was hope yet. I resumed construction as best I could under the cover of darkness.
Thought I heard something. Well, of course, it's not going to give me enough. Nice. Alright. It'll just be a hole in the floor. Alright, we should probably finish on the second floor. Should also probably build some sticks. Build a ladder. So I can get up. I'm gonna put it right next to you here. Here you go. There we go.
The peace didn't last. It was futile to hope that it would. No sooner had I regained my composure than another foe snuck up on me in the night. The clattering of bones jostling against each other gave the skeleton's identity away just before he reached my location. How did he get inside so quickly? Well, it doesn't matter now. I was shot dead. He ought to be ashamed of himself, coming into my shelter as I scrambled to defend it. I respawned, disoriented and quite lost. It was a race against the clock to get my bearings and relocate my humble abode before I lost everything I had toiled so hard to gain. I dashed about, searching frantically for any signs that might lead me to the place I had hoped to call home.
Oh. No. Maybe it's in here. I think it might be over this way.
At last, it came into view, just in the nick of time too, as I was able to snatch up all my items before they vanished.
People really quickly. There's gonna still be a skeleton in there. Gotta be careful, gotta be really quick. Grab my sword and get out. Oh! It's gone. What luck. What luck indeed. Alright. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I'm gonna finish off my house.
I proceeded cautiously for the rest of the night, and when the sun finally rose in the morning, I set about finishing the construction of my home.
Let's go ahead and try to get over here.
Now I longed for adventure, so in the late afternoon I decided to try my hand at exploring a mine tucked away behind a lava fall I had come across earlier in my travels. Alas, it was empty. Time to return home and see what was to be done about the aftermath of last night's first visitor.
Nice little hidden base behind the lava fall. Alright, we're just gonna wait out this. Down below.
Now I'd covered up the creeper hole, but I realized I could mine down into it and turn it into a functioning mine. It was high time I started carving my way into the depths of this planet in search of ores and other valuable mineral resources that couldn't be found on the surface. Down, down, down I dug, each layer revealing new materials that could be used later, and some I could use now to upgrade my equipment.
Below one of them. Alright, here we are. No way! I haven't even found iron.
Diamonds, and so early in the game. This was a fortunate break, so I decided to hollow out the area around this first diamond vein and come back later to mine them. By now I had gathered a nice amount of iron ore, so I made myself 2 furnaces and tossed some coal in them to fire them up.
Alright. Get rid of these really quickly. I know that's a terrible idea, but I just want to...
Quite unexpectedly, a cave filled with lava opened up below me. I was so focused on my mining that I very nearly fell to my doom. That would have been a shame, just after creating my first set of armor in this world. I paused to catch my breath before cautiously constructing a rudimentary bridge that could take me across the lava pool safely. I caught a glimpse of a blue sparkle out of the corner of my eye. Turning to my left, my hopes were realized. I discovered another vein of precious diamonds. Once again, I hollowed out the area surrounding the valuable stones to save them for later.
Forgot that was a torch. Alright, so... we out here, huh? Is there lava beneath diamonds? No. Okay, good. Stop with the... Just wasted 2 torches.
I was like a hawk as I made my way through the interconnected cave systems. Not a single block of iron was safe. I must collect it all. Everyone knows you can never have too much iron.
Skeletons killing us all the time. Pretty unfortunate. I kind of want to block out the lava, but I kind of want to just keep it for the necessity of the light. Just collect all this iron that we have. This is a good start. We've got a lot of stuff really quickly. I consider that an absolute win. And we've got gravel here.
My collection of useful resources began to weigh me down, so I was forced to begin climbing my way back up to the surface once more. Memories of how I had died at the hands of a skeleton on my first night still haunted me. I knew my armor would provide some level of protection, but that wasn't good enough. I wouldn't be satisfied until I was certain that my future survival was secure. Complete with a bed inside a proper home, of course. It would take time, but I knew I could do it. Don't worry, this is only just the beginning of our adventure. The following days are filled with hardships and surprises, but I know we can survive. If you're tuning into this adventure right when this video comes out, I'm currently live streaming over on twitch.tv. Come over and say hello. The link will be in the description below. Until next time, don't mind straight down and stay frosty.